Hey, what's up guys? Rev here. I'm happy to announce we have some good news to cover today. It's actually an update of two recent stories, but we're going to start with this one from yesterday. It involves the Clip Studio Paint announcement, where yesterday they said that they were going to implement a new experimental AI feature that involved stable diffusion. Now, artists were very upset about this, as you can tell by the number of quote retweets. They were upset that not only based on the TOS of Clip Studio Paint, that their creations would be thrown into this AI feature, but also stable diffusion in that data set is very suspect, to say the least, that they not only just scour art from all across the internet, but they also have content like medical records contained within their data sets that could end up in AI artwork based on that data set. Like, very sketchy stuff. But I'm happy to say that today, Clip Studio Paint announced this. After receiving your feedback, we will no longer implement the image generator palette. In our pursuit of providing a new creative experience, we lost sight of what our core users wanted from Clip Studio Paint. We would like to sincerely apologize. Now, first, the good and the bad. It shouldn't have came to this, right? That's the frustrating part. It should not have come to really just tens of thousands of artists and users pointing out that this was a problem, because I'm not an artist, and even I can see this as a problem. Anyone with eyeballs knew this was an issue, and it should not have taken all of that backlash to get rid of this new program they're going to implement. But you have to give credit where credit is due, and they fixed the problem, right? That's a good thing, because this is a very rare situation where any sort of service actually backtracks a plan that is heavily disliked. So there's a lot of compliments in the replies. You can see it's very well liked. Obviously, some people are still frustrated that this happened at all, but the takeaway is that they listened to their artists, they listened to even just regular internet users, and they made the right decision in the end. But that's not the only update. This is actually a story from about a week ago where I announced that Pixiv was making new changes where they were going to ban certain content. To sum it up, really they were getting rid of anything with lolly, shota, furry, and gore, among others. And it was very open-ended. It just gave those as examples, and it could have been pretty much anything that was problematic. And they were doing this to appease their credit card companies that were doing their payment processing. Well, I particularly picked this one because it's from a legendary artist, Mantis X. If you know, you know. But they provided what many others have provided, and that's a translated version of a new message they made a few days ago, which clarified and added some caveats here. If I open this, it's going to wig out my screen. But to sum it up, they are basically adding two portions to this new rule. It's not only those categories I mentioned previously, but they also have to be based on realistic depictions, and they have to be concrete examples of something that resembles a real-life person. This is pretty similar to really existing law in places like the United States, and really just kind of the main course of how these topics are treated on other services. So this was a bit of a relief to a lot of artists out there that this new change is not as dramatic as people thought. Like, Pixiv is not going to die because of this, because the initial announcement they made, it looks really bad for a lot of artists. And this one adds this new, it has to be realistic expressions based on real looking people and illustrations. So things are not as bad as they seemed. But of course, just keeping all of this in mind, it's not 100% concrete, but things do look better in terms of Pixiv's situation. So, having said all of that, multiple layers of good news. I'm happy to report it, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.